Adita Friedman, as you know, is CEO of the NASDAQ. And I think Mickey Siebert would be so pleased after 50 years that there's a woman running the NYSE. But it has been glacial. And as you pointed out, you know, we have maybe less than 5% of women running Fortune 500 companies. And when you look at the boardrooms, we have like 21% of the board seats are held by women. And that has just been really slow progress. So if you want 1995, when Catalyst started tracking women on boards, it was like 9%. So we've gone to 21%. That's less than 1% a year over a 20-year period. That is very, very slow.
I mean, some people will say, you know, there's progress being made. What I don't understand is all the research suggests having a more gender diverse board leads to higher financial performance. This is not just touchy-feely.
Yes, but you know, it's financial performance, but it's also your employees, your shareholders, your consumers, and the communities in which you operate. So why wouldn't a company tap into that talent, which they are not doing, plus the financial performance of Peterson Institute, Credit Suisse, McKinsey? All the indicators are women make a difference. Why would you ignore half the population?
Doesn't Stacey Cunningham getting to her position actually illustrate a lot of how this will get solved? She started as an intern there. She held so many positions. If you went back 30 or 40 years, there probably weren't any Cunninghams out there, right? It takes time, and we're getting there, aren't we? Isn't that she an example of how this will change? Is that there's a woman who was on the bench, was brought up through the system, and now has all the qualifications, so nobody's sitting here saying, she got the job because she's a woman.
You know what, in the same week...
She's got the job because she deserves the job.
Let's not forget, we're talking in the same week where a woman is now running the CIA. These institutions that have been so important in the history of this country.
Although corporate America is going the other way. I mean, Denise Morrison just stepped off Campbell, and now there are even fewer female Fortune 500 CEOs. 23, I think, in the S&P 500. Why are we going backwards?
Well, some have stepped down, but then men have stepped down too. So there's a turnover going on. But when it's a woman who steps down, it's noticed much more because there's so few women. So we need to fill the pipeline. But the pipeline is there. What I think what boards need to do is be much more intentional about looking at where is the pipeline, how are we bringing women up. So look at Accenture. Pierre Nardin has come out last year and said 50-50 by 2025. And he is saying 50% gender equality at the boardroom level, the C-suite level, and all the way up the ranks. You have to be intentional about growing your women and your diverse candidates and building that pipeline so that you can promote them and get them into the C-suite and get them, as you were pointing out, into the boardroom. And that's what we need to do. The supply is there. I place women on boards, and for the first time on a board. So when you look at some of the surveys that are out there last year, 42% of women that were placed on boards were first-time directors.
That makes sense, because there aren't that many.
Are your own personal searches up? I mean, that's what you do for a living.
That's what I do. That's my search.
Are they up for female board members?
Yes, yes. They are up.